Welcome back to LVT Halo at HCS Arlington. Navi versus Space Station is on its way, and it's a triple kill for Mr. Adam Bound, and it might just be more players dropping left and right. Oh my God, we're getting to the action. I mean, he not only took down 3 players, he took down himself a little.
That was impressive, not gonna lie. If I go down, I'm taking you with me. That's what he said there. But man, honestly, I've been seeing a lot of great stuff from Bound so far this tournament. Even in that series that they just played against G1, Bound already finding his footing early in the tournament, which is a huge bonus for Space Station.
So far, Stinky gets some great shots down range, not trying to stay down after that great opening fight from Bound, but there's an onslaught of Space Station players to deal with as they're trying to secure C. And someone just came up high. They're trying to look for it. Looks like Mighties was able to get a hold of it. They're going to score and capture their first points of this game. Space Station just content with having B at the moment as they try to figure out where the next push should come from.
Yeah, this is kind of a tricky spot for Space Station coming off a spawn on B. They have to decide if they're going for C or A. Looks like they did opt to kind of do both here, sending a couple players to tower while the other two go to A. They're trying to flip this into a trip cap in their favor, but even though it didn't succeed, they actually start scoring for themselves.
So far, Penguin able to get these shots down range. They wanted to get Bound down into that B stronghold, but Penguin last alive and in perilous danger. They definitely know where he's at, but they're not going to try to push that. Letting Penguin get his shields back, and the rest of Space Station going to take that moment to get together, but Navi get a forward position, able to find these first picks with the overshield coming up. Snipe Drone has a perfect position to capture some critical kills for his team, but he needs to go big at the bottom of the map, gets the kill, and the overshield might just be his. A couple players from Space Station going to try to keep him away, but Snipe Drone's in a beautiful spot. He's landing down great shots, patient plays from Navi that could get them a couple extra shields.
Yeah, honestly, great plays from Snipe Drone. He's really showing that you have to clear the map around the overshield before it makes sense to go for it. Even though he did such a good job, though, Space Station answer right back and grab it for themselves.
And Bound instantly on top of that. It really shows you how much effort both of these teams put into it. Space Station letting Navi score during that entire period, not worried about the strongholds at all. They get the extra shields and they use that to finally get back into a scoring position. And man, Bound is just so fun to watch. It really feels like he's one of those players that when you have him on your screen, you can tell that it's Bound, right? It's like he has identity through his gameplay.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's slipping and sliding all over the place. Very high survivability. He can output insane amounts of damage even with cover. He just has an extremely acute understanding of his own limits, and I think that's one of the biggest skills in Halo is just knowing exactly how long you can stay in the fight before you have to back down. So far this weekend, Bound is locked and in tune with that.
Well, Stanky just won a huge fight with the long side of Mighties, able to keep this stronghold in their possession, but Space Station, they're just waiting for an opportunity. It feels like the second that Navi takes a step too far, they're going to find themselves a trip cap opportunity. And while Bound, he's on a killing spree. We're going to make it 6 in a row, double kill for him. And I think he might have more on his mind. Oh my God, gets the body tag up to finish, and it might just be another clear the way. Bound has 0 assists, but 12 kills, triple positive at the start of this game.
And in all the objective modes, slays like this really can add up to your score because all this time that Navi's on the death screen, Space Station just racking up points, now getting double points for every single second as the trip cap's in action.
Oh, that's frustrating. Penguin, he got that fresh overshield, thought he could get to the safety of tower, but he was tagged up by a noob combo at the last second, and now Bound is going to throw this sniper off the map. In fact, just thought about hitting a shot.
He thought about it, and he was like, wait a second, I'm LeBron James. I'm just going to hit this shot real quick.
He only gave away 1 bullet. I mean, what can you do with 1 bullet sniper, right? That sounds like a moment before disaster. We'll have to see what Navi is able to get going. Eco does his best to stall, but just cannot land that 4th shot, and it's going to allow Navi to keep a home base for now. But Navi really struggling on getting that 2 stronghold setup and then working forward from there.
Yeah, honestly, there's not a huge disparity in the slay department. Bound is really the only player that's kind of popping off in this entire lobby. I think the overall slays are in SSG's favor by now 3, but it's SSG who's been able to capitalize the most off of each of these deaths to continually have control. They're also out-rotating Navi because every time Navi's able to get a point, SSG just takes the point they already had.
SSG just came off a very tough series against G1. Instantly went from the main stage to the side station. So you expect them to be fairly warm coming into this game, and I think that's really been shown, especially with players like Bound and how impressive he's been at the start of this game. And it might take Navi a little bit of time to get that engine revved, but I think the engine might be revving now. 3 players go down for Space Station. They're coming on the respawn, and well, Mighty still has plenty of heat wave to work with.
Yeah, and I mean, this has got to be one of the toughest teams to beat in Strongholds because it favors really fast, no hesitation rotations around the map. And that's what Space Station is so good at in every game type. They just launch themselves across the map. All 4 of them have great movement. They can take sightlines and angles extremely fast and basically cut off a team as they try to take a point. They're able to traverse the map and kill them before they finish the point. So
tough scenes right there for Navi, though. A missed kill, and well, it's not only going to lead the 4 down, it led to an overshield going to Eco, and Eco, well, you give him an inch, he's got to take it a long, long mile. Sniper in his hands, now still plenty of overshield to work with. Navi are reeling as Space Station are starting to find their way across this map. Eco, that's tough. You see the little green goo comes across the map. It's not enough to take care of Eco, but
almost
might be enough to stop this hill.
Yeah, I mean, that was a crucial time to get a kill for Navi. That's going to keep them in the game, at least momentarily. Bound, though, with the repulsor says, shut up, Eli. He's not going to cap this. Wow. Space Station not giving any inch to Navi here.
I love how fast Bound is on the counterattack right there. He wasted no time getting into that fight. Although it doesn't go his way, that just shows you how confident the young Slayer on this team is. Rookie of the Year last season. Bound truly making his impact early in this game. And, well, Space Station just moments away from securing this game for the team. Navi searching for some sort of miracle.
Yeah, looks like this is going to be it unless something comes together here in the final moment. Snakey getting a kill, that matters a lot, but I fear that Space Station is on their way to stop this or take it for themselves immediately as the collapse comes in. These guys just know exactly what routes to hit to collapse together at perfect timings and stop the other team from doing anything they want to do.
That's something that I think separates the best teams from good teams, right? And let's talk about that a little bit, Eli, about timings in Halo. What, in your opinion, what is the best team right now in HCS for timings, and who can we look back to in history about timings and who excelled at that part of the game?
I mean, right now it's really hard to say. I feel like it's a different team every weekend. Last tournament, it was FaZe that when they were locked in and we were listening to their comms, we could hear just how precise all of their comms were, and that's what helps them have such good timing with each other, because they're so in tune with what each other are doing because of their good communication that they're able to just create these plays out of nothing, essentially. And, I mean, if you look back in time, I mean, obviously, I got to say, Final Boss was probably the best at it. They just knew exactly when to hit certain angles, and they were a nightmare to play against, just like a lot of these guys today are nightmares to play against as well.
Well, it's so interesting because you've been around since the beginning of Halo, right? And when we talk about concepts like timing and spacings, you were around when those concepts were being not only like were being discovered, right, for the first time and being developed and talked about. Now it's establishing. When you're becoming a professional Halo player, your team's going to talk about timing and spacing on the map. But back in the day, what was that conversation like when you guys were first learning? It's like, oh, this is kind of like how you play.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, back then it wasn't really talked about that much. I feel like as the movement increases in the newer games, like timing matters even more because people can hit space very quickly, whereas in Halo 2, I mean, you spawn up and you're walking like leisurely across top mid, and it's going to take you a while to show up. So it did mean that like if you overextended in Halo 2, you were punished even harder because your teammates couldn't get to you as fast. So that's why in the older games, positioning was more important than timing was, because if you held a good position that your teammates could help you from, then you know you weren't going to get punished as often. But
right, and now it feels like we're getting the meld of the two, right? Because position plus timing equals pacing and spacing, right? That's what I like to call it. So it's like it's the space on the map that you can take out and how fast you take that space.
Yeah.
And so that's what I really love about high-level Halo. You talked about FaZe. I really think that FaZe does a phenomenal job of never exposing themselves too far. They're always accounting for being in the right spot, right time, and it's such an incredible talent. I think Space Station Gaming is another team that's why you're going to see them pull away in certain series, is because they have such a command of that pacing / spacing sort of a position on the game.
I have to agree with you. I mean, for last season, it felt like it was Optic, right? Because 12.
Oh my God, what perfect time!
Yeah, perfect.
Eli, what are you doing? The overtime. So hey guys, if you want to see the conclusion of that, you can go over to twitch.tv/Halo. Watch the reset of that flag. But we got a Slayer going on, and it's Space Station that has the lead in this series. But the Europeans, they're a fierce bunch, and the Slayer is where they can get the job done. But Eco, he's already putting a damper on the surprise. Oh my God, it's a double from him. He helps Stellar out. Stellar gets a double of his own. Space Station's come out to fight.
These early leads can snowball very quickly against a team like Space Station. They're very on top of the sandbox, and if you all go down at the beginning, that means they have free reign to pick up all the items. As we see, Bound with the Stalker Rifle does get taken down, but I have to imagine there's still a major sandbox advantage on the side of Space Station.
Oh, Stellar picks up a right guy. He thought he was about to fry someone. Well, it turns out there was no bullets left. And while Snaky, he takes immediate advantage. Says, hey, you have to switch weapons. I'll take advantage, get the kill, and keep my team in this game. That could have been a very dangerous spot for Na'Vi. As Space Station got another wipe. Instead, they're going to be able to fight out of their base, try to make something happen. But Space Station just feels like they're playing with everyone on full 100% capabilities at the moment, and it's going to be a tough matchup for Na'Vi. Oh my God, Boundless. He's trying to do something special.
What I just saw from Space Station was they knew there was a player in C/Red Room and decided to just leave him there because they had a collapse on A. And that tells me that they're playing big brain Halo right now. They're fully aware of the entire map, and they're making play calls on the opposite side of the map from where they know teammates are, because they're confident enough that if they make a collapse on A, they can just turn around and kill them on the other side, as we see an overkill from Penguin.
Hey, Penguin's got 5 kills, 4 of those in rapid succession, able to get that overkill. And this might be a devastating result for Na'Vi. They've given up the rockets on the back of that overkill, and Space Station are quickly trying to take advantage, and Eco might just find 3 players standing on top of each other with these rockets. He's a little bit cautious about wiping this corner once to have his teammates with him, but look at Na'Vi. They're roaming as a pack. The problem is Eco's waiting to see just one player and let that thing loose.
They had the read on the spawns there, but Eco is so patient. He's not going to chase them out to B stairs where he's likely to just get team shot and taken down. He wants both of those rockets to be used by his team. So, I mean, awesome veteran understanding of the situation that this lead is fragile. Even though they're up by 4 kills, if they give up a few items, it could swing the other way.
Stellar keeps trying to push that advantage. You see Na'Vi spawning all up. They got 3 players at that bottom base, and they're going to get all 4 players together now as they start to push out through the middle. But this might be a dangerous proposition. You see Bound is able to get 2, and the Space Station's just looking for the rest to fry. Penguin finds the 3rd, and the lone player in the back is about to get collapsed upon. Na'Vi gets systematically torn apart.
That play from Stellar was so smart. That is a lesson in trust for anyone watching. Don't try to do too much. A lot of the time, the player on your screen is not your kill to get. If you just can get some easy damage, you can move and find another target to damage if you trust your teammate to finish the first player. Stellar did that 4 times in a row, got 4 assists. Doesn't show up as big in the stat screen, but he's now 4 kills with 8 assists, and that's a big deal on a map like Streets.
Yeah, I'll take a player averaging 2 assists per kill.
Yeah.
Any day. Absolutely phenomenal start to this game from Space Station, but they haven't got that separation that I think they want so far. Na'Vi has been able to catch individual kills here and there and keep themselves within this game, and then get one more wipe. It feels as if they can start to take control, and Snaky's keeping those players pestered over at the back of that base. With the rockets up now, we see a Shroud screen go out. The rockets did go into the hands of Na'Vi. Oh no, they went to the hands of Space Station. Did they nade them out?
They may have. I'm not sure how they got the rockets, but I did recognize the Stalker was coming up. That's why we saw Space Station rotate into Tram ahead of time, because they wanted this gun. It was going to counter the shoddy that they knew Na'Vi had. So there's actually a mini chess game going on with the sandbox here, where they're taking positions specifically to get items to make plays like this.
Knife Drone's drop shield comes in just in time. He wants to get that gun and get back to safety, but he's just not safe enough. There we go. He's got a 38%. You know, sometimes I wish I would just tell you how many bullets.
Yeah, it's hard to
like, what is that, like 8 bullets?
Something like that. I want to say it's like 7 per shot, maybe a little bit less.
Oh my god, oh, he gets taken down. That red gun's going to play no impact. And Space Station stuck at the back of the base, but they ripped out of that thing like a rabid animal out of the cage. That is just incredible from Space Station.
That's hard to do. C is one of the hardest parts of the map to push out aggressively. There's so many different angles you can be lasered from, and they just covered all the angles simultaneously and just went out with full force. If all 4 of these guys are shooting you at the same time, you die very fast.
Hey, you were talking about that, how Optic plays off the back foot. I think Space Station taking a little page from Optic Gaming's book right there. That was a beautiful break out of that base. But Na'Vi is not content with laying down. They're going to keep putting on the pressure and trying to find a way, a path to victory throughout this game as they keep shooting down. One thing I want to know real fast, I'll get back to it, but oh my god, we're starting to see Space Station try to rip open into PD as Na'Vi, and suddenly they've been swapped to the position. They're trapped over at the back of A.
Yeah, but they know Shoddy's coming up. I believe they're ready to get the Shoddy when it comes up. If they can do that, this set of rockets might be easier to get. But as I say that, Space Station getting kills when it matters most and pulling the lead back to 6 when it was previously down to 3.
Look at that. They got the rockets and the shotgun now. Power weapon control, I think, has been vital for Space Station throughout this game. It seems like they've been the ones that have been on top of it and being able to capitalize on the advantage that it gives you.
It's so underrated on streets, especially this. We've said that this map has more weapons per square foot than any other map by a wide margin, and Space Station understanding the value of controlling every single one, including the Sentinel beam, the assault rifle, the bandit rifle. They've got everything.
Nade is perfect. Come on, second one. There we go. The assist comes in. As we start to see Na'Vi run together, they can't really afford many more deaths throughout this game, and Stellar is just going to pick them off one by one, getting to his teammates' help. They're always there to help each other. It never feels like a kill is left on the table for Space Station.
No, and at this point, just 1 to go. You have to imagine they're just going to find a target to collapse on and ruin his day. Who's going to be the unlucky victim on the side of Na'Vi?
You want to take bets?
Probably the guy that's a little bit too far up right now, front A.
Let's see, Jimbo. That's Jimbo trying to make sense. Hey, look at that. It's almost like you've been playing this game for a long time, man.
I've been watching a lot of film. I know when someone's about to die.
Well, get a little overextended on Space Station. You can see your life disappear before you. 50 kills come in for Space Station, and now they're just 1 Aquarius flag away from getting a clean sweep in this series. One thing I wanted to know, and we'll see in the replays, but very specific strategy from Space Station, not even in the game, but more of a meta strategy throughout this tournament. I'm curious about your thoughts on it, because we saw it at DreamHack Dallas, but you'll notice Space Station, number 2 seed in today's tournament. Na'Vi, not nearly number 2. I think they're like number 8, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But we're seeing Space Station as the blue team, taking the Cobra side, not playing from the traditional Eagle side that you'd see from a high seed. That's the question. If you guys want to see the conclusion of this game, it will be playing on twitch.tv/Halo. We're going to move back into our match over on the Bravo station. It looks like Bound already making his way home with a camouflage flag.
Yeah, this will be the last tournament, I believe, that we get to see the camouflage after the Quantum Translocator takes its place, and it is probably the best way to cap a flag as it's on the map right now. And we're seeing the benefit of ensuring that you have that item off the start.
Mighty's grabs his flag, not going to be able to get it any further. Snipe Drone's trying to keep that pressure up, trying to prevent Space Station from getting to that back base. He was able to get some great shots down range, gets the first kill, and this first flag gets around the corner as well. Na'Vi with their first potential flag on its way.
I do actually think this is a game type that Na'Vi could start to come back in this series. The European brand of Halo, for some reason, is very good at capture the flag, and some of these American teams haven't figured out how to counter their hyper-aggressive strategy. On the other side, we've got Space Station, who has been hit or miss with this game type. Sometimes they look brilliant, sometimes they look lost, to be frank. So we'll see if Na'Vi can maybe catch them off guard here and take a Game 3 win.
I think about the Space Station roster, it always feels like when they're they'll have these bad moments in the game, but when it starts clicking, they all of a sudden look like the best possible CTF team. It's insane to watch the difference between their gameplay.
And I think that actually goes into their mental fortitude as well, because they know that no matter how far down they are in a game, all it takes is one good break, and they can steamroll anybody. So that's what makes them so strong. And with leadership like Eco there to let them know, hey guys, we just need to get the next set of thrusters in the heat wave and we win the game. There are win conditions, and you can easily get killed for a long time in this game, and you still have a chance so long as you get the items later.
Mighty's able to find perfect timing. He gets the flag out and away, the thruster to try to keep him safe, but Stellar knew exactly where to look, gets the kill, but the rest of Na'Vi tries to keep this flag on its way, but it might just be a sacrifice too great. Na'Vi struggling to get it past to the 50-yard line, and they'll have to give up on it. Snipe Drone has some players to deal with over on the car side.
Such a well-played situation there by Snipe Drone. Even though he doesn't stay alive in the end or get any kills, he did max damage and stayed alive for just about as long as was possible in that situation. He's not going to make this easy for Space Station.
Oh my God.
Cracked pistol shots from across
the map. The way that he just was perfect with that. He gets the second one as well, and not only getting main slaying right now, he's also getting this flag back home for his team. He gets around the corner. That's your rookie of the year. Oh my God, it was a grab mid-air. That was some of the cleanest Halo I've seen.
See, that's the brilliance that Space Station shows up with from time to time, with just perfectly executed, flawless pitches, handoffs to each other while getting kills. But at the same time, they expended a lot of resources for that flag cap, and this could end up being a counter cap if Na'Vi can put a few more kills on the board.
That was almost played perfectly by Jimbo right there. Just trapped out Bound, got the damage in. Bound got the kill, but it's going to keep that flag alive for Na'Vi for the moment. But Thruster, man, it makes such an impact on this map, and you're seeing Penguin get a double because of it. Oh my God, back-to-back kills. Thruster being so impactful for Space Station. This flag, it looks to be coming home for SSG.
Is there anyone in Halo that has more experience using the thrust than SSG? These guys they're all Halo 5 lords.
Yeah, they are. Wow, all four of them. I guess Eco did have a little bit of a stint before Halo 5, but definitely made his name in Halo 5.
Yeah, so these guys, if you let them get the thrusters on this map, you're going to have a bad time. That's just what it is.
There we go. Bound puts that third one on board, and Space Station, when the engine starts revving, they're some of the fastest players at closing out games. We have seen Na'Vi have plenty of opportunities at counter caps, though. Space Station, it seems like they're wisening up a little bit to that strategy, though.
What I'm seeing from Na'Vi is honestly a bit of rushing. They're not securing the map before desperately grabbing the flag. You kind of have to play patient, make sure you fully have that advantage and get a clean pull. Otherwise, if you just die on the other side of the map, it's going to be even longer before you have a chance to make that. So they need to start making more out of their lives once they cross the 50-yard line.
Eco back to the enemy base, looking for a flag cap once again, and well, he's going to get right into the back. Assist for the first, and the flag goes out on its way as Stellar. It's going to be a foot race to home. One player comes in for the support. I don't think there's anyone from Na'Vi to stop it. A great route running from Stellar. Na'Vi sees the respawn screen, and this one was coming home, but where was Snipe Drone?
He's a ghost. I don't know where he came from, but it's not enough because Space Station hears their flag carrier dead. They all come back, make sure that one makes it home, and wow, 3 flags up with 6 minutes to go. This is A very uphill battle for Na'Vi. Space Station looking to close this one out.
And as we get closer to closing this one out, I got some exciting news about what's happening over on the other side. Oh my God, Bound with the triple kill.
He's on fire.
Our pool play, we have one team in each pool that hasn't been determined yet. That comes from the open bracket, and I've gotten word that the winner's side of the open bracket is getting closer to its conclusion. So as Bound gets this flag home for his team and they win 3-0, we're going to start to transition to some of our pool play qualification coverage of the open bracket.
First time ever.
Yeah, first time in Halo Infinite. Status Quo is going to be going up against Orgless.
Who's on Orgless?
Honestly, don't know. Yeah,
well, we're going to find out.
You're the analyst.
There's so many teams that use the name.
I just like, yeah, it's like Orgless or like Need an Org. All
we
that
get it, bro. You're trying to get the cheddar. Like, I respect it, but like, choose a better team name. I'm sorry.
Here, Louis, let me see the Twitch chat. If I see the Twitch chat, I'm sure one of them knows.